Captain Alex sat in the command center of his spaceship, staring at the glowing screen in front of him. It was a quiet day, and he had just finished another round of training exercises with his crew. As he sipped his coffee, a sudden alarm blared. The lights on the control panel flashed red, and a voice crackled through the speakers. Urgent message from the Zoltar system. All crew, report to the control room immediately. Alex's heart raced. He knew the Zoltar system was home to many alien species. They had been in contact with humanity for years, but they had never sent an urgent call like this before. He quickly stood up, signaling to his team to gather around. "Everyone, let's see what's happening," he said, his voice firm but excited. The crew rushed to their stations, their faces filled with curiosity and concern. As they gathered around the main screen, a holographic image appeared. It showed a beautiful alien woman with shimmering skin and bright, expressive eyes. She looked worried, her hands moving as she spoke. "Greetings, human allies. I am Lyra, the ambassador of the Zoltar system. We face a grave threat that endangers our worlds. We need your help." Alex leaned closer, intrigued. He noticed Lyra's long hair flowed like liquid silver, and her voice was melodic, yet urgent. "What kind of threat?" he asked, hoping to understand the situation better. Lyra took a deep breath, her expression serious. "A dark force has come to our galaxy. It seeks to conquer our planets and enslave our people. We have gathered representatives from different species to unite against this evil, but we need a strong human to help us. We invite you to join us." The words echoed in Alex's mind. A dark force. This was not just a simple problem. It was a call to arms. He glanced at his crew, who looked back at him with eager faces. They all knew this was an important moment. "We will help you," Alex said firmly, his voice steady. "Tell us what to do." Lyra's eyes brightened with hope. "You must come to our planet at once. There, we will explain everything and prepare for the challenges ahead. But there is something else you must know. To truly unite us against this threat, you will need to bond with all the representatives. It is a traditional ritual that strengthens our alliance. Bond with all of them." Alex echoed, his brow furrowing. The idea seemed strange, but he could see the seriousness in Lyra's eyes. "What does that involve?" Lyra smiled gently. "It is a way to build trust and friendship. Each of us has a unique way of connecting. By joining together, we will become stronger against the dark force." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. This was a new challenge for him, one he had never faced before. "All right, we will be there as soon as we can." As the message ended, the crew erupted in chatter. They all had questions and ideas. Alex felt a surge of energy. This was more than just a mission. It was a chance to connect with new friends and help save entire worlds. "Prepare the ship for departure," Alex commanded, feeling the adrenaline rush through him. "Set course for the Zoltar system." The crew sprang into action, working together like a well-oiled machine. They checked systems, fueled the engines, and plotted their course. Alex took a moment to breathe, thinking about what lay ahead. He was going to meet stunning alien women from different worlds and help them in their time of need. It was exciting, but also daunting. As the ship lifted off the ground, Alex looked out at the Earth shrinking below him. He felt a pang of longing for home, but quickly pushed it aside. He was on an important mission, and he had to focus. The journey through space was filled with anticipation. Stars twinkled outside the windows, and Alex couldn't help but wonder about the aliens he would meet. Would they be friendly? What would their worlds be like? He imagined vibrant landscapes, strange creatures, and the incredible stories they would tell. After a few hours, the ship approached the Zoltar planet. It was a breathtaking sight, with lush forests and crystal-clear oceans glimmering under the sun. Alex felt a thrill of excitement as they landed. The crew cheered as the ship touched down. Alex took a deep breath, gathering his thoughts. He knew this was just the beginning of an incredible adventure. As the ramp lowered, he stepped out, ready to face whatever challenges awaited him. Lyra was waiting for them, standing tall with a group of other alien representatives. Each one was more beautiful and unique than the last. Alex felt his heart race as he approached them. They all smiled warmly, their eyes shining with hope. "Welcome, Captain Alex," Lyra said, her voice gentle yet powerful. "We are grateful you have come. Together, we will face this dark force and protect our worlds." Alex nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. This was more than a mission. It was a chance to create bonds that would change his life forever. The grand meeting. As Alex stepped onto the vibrant soil of the Zoltar planet, he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The air was warm and filled with sweet scents from colorful flowers. Alien creatures fluttered around, some looking like butterflies, while others resembled small, furry animals. It was a beautiful world, unlike anything he had ever seen. Lyra led Alex and his crew to a large gathering area surrounded by tall trees. The trees had shimmering leaves that sparkled in the sunlight. As they walked, Alex noticed other aliens arriving, each more stunning than the last. They had different colors, shapes, and sizes, making the place feel alive with energy. When they reached the center of the gathering, Alex saw a large round table made of smooth, glowing stone. Around the table were chairs for each alien representative. They all looked at him with curious eyes, and he felt a mix of admiration and pressure. These were not just any aliens. They were the leaders of their worlds. "Everyone, this is Captain Alex, our human ally," Lyra announced, her voice ringing with pride. "He has come to help us in our time of need." The aliens clapped their hands and made sounds of welcome. Alex felt his heart swell with gratitude. He was here to make a difference, and their acceptance gave him strength. Lyra guided him to a chair at the head of the table. "Please sit, Captain," she said. As he took his place, Alex noticed the other aliens settling in. They looked at him with anticipation, ready to share their stories. The first to speak was a tall alien with blue skin and bright yellow eyes. "I am Theros from the planet Nithra," he said, his voice deep and commanding. "Our world has been under attack from the dark force. They steal our resources and spread fear among our people." Alex listened closely, feeling the weight of Theros' words. "What do you need from us?" he asked, wanting to understand how he could help. Theros replied, "We need to unite our strengths. If we work together, we can defend our planets and drive back the darkness." Next, a small alien with green skin and 3 eyes introduced herself. "I am Zuri from the planet Vela. We have advanced technology, but we lack the courage to fight. Your presence inspires us. We hope you can teach us how to stand strong." Alex nodded, feeling honored. "I'll do my best to help you, but we must also learn from each other. Your strengths are just as important." As the meeting continued, more representatives spoke about their challenges. A fiery red alien named Mira shared how her planet's resources were depleting. "The dark force drains our energy, leaving us weak. We need a plan to save our worlds," she urged. The discussions grew more intense as they talked about strategies and shared ideas. Alex felt his confidence rising. He knew he had to be a leader among them, guiding them toward a common goal. After hours of conversation, Lyra stood up, her eyes sparkling with determination. "Now, Captain, we need to discuss the bonding ritual. This is essential for our unity. It will strengthen our ties and help us trust one another." Alex shifted in his seat, feeling both excited and anxious. "What exactly does this ritual involve?" he asked, wanting to prepare himself for what was to come. Lyra smiled softly. "It is a way to connect deeply with each of us. You will need to spend time with each representative, learning about our cultures and forming friendships. It is not just about the ritual itself, but the bonds you create." The other aliens nodded in agreement. Alex felt a flutter of nerves in his stomach. This was a big responsibility. How do I start? He asked, determined to embrace the challenge. Let us begin with introductions, Lyra suggested. Each of us will share something special about our home and what we hope to gain from this alliance. One by one, the representatives took turns sharing their stories. Alex listened intently as they spoke of their cultures, values, and dreams for the future. He learned about the beautiful landscapes of Nithra, the advanced cities of Vela, and the fierce warriors of Zoltar. Each story was unique, and he felt a connection growing with each alien. After the introductions, Lyra announced, "Now it's time for the bonding ritual to begin. Captain, you will spend time with each of us to learn more about our ways." Alex felt a rush of excitement. "I'm ready," he said, his voice steady. The other aliens smiled, their expressions warm and encouraging. Lyra led Alex to a garden filled with glowing flowers. "I will go first," she said, her voice soft and inviting. "Here, we celebrate the beauty of nature and its connection to our lives. Let's gather some flowers and create a symbol of our friendship." As they picked the flowers, Alex learned about their meanings. Each color represents a different value. Red for courage, blue for wisdom, and yellow for joy, Lyra explained. He felt a sense of calm wash over him as he worked alongside her, their hands brushing against each other occasionally. After creating a beautiful arrangement, Lyra handed it to Alex. "This symbolizes our bond," she said, her eyes shining with hope. "Together, we can face any challenge." Alex smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. "I will cherish this," he replied sincerely. They stood together in the garden, surrounded by the glowing flowers, knowing that this was just the beginning of a powerful alliance. The Bonding Challenge. The next morning, Alex awoke with a sense of purpose. The sun shone brightly over the Zoltar planet, and the air was fresh with a hint of flowers. He remembered Lyra's words about the bonding ritual. Today was the day he would connect with the stunning alien beauties he had met. Alex felt both excited and nervous about the challenge ahead. After a quick breakfast with his crew, Alex met Lyra at the garden where they had created the flower arrangement. "Good morning, Captain." Lyra greeted him, her voice cheerful. "Are you ready for the bonding challenge?" "I'm ready," Alex replied, determined to embrace the experience. He wanted to build strong friendships with the alien representatives. Lyra smiled and explained the plan for the day. "We will start with Zuri from Vela. She has a unique way of bonding through a shared experience," Lyra said. "You will spend time in her village, learning about her culture." Alex felt a thrill of anticipation. "Let's go," he said, following Lyra as they made their way to Zuri's village. The village was a colorful place with homes made of smooth green materials. The buildings looked like they were part of the trees, blending beautifully with nature. When they arrived, Zuri greeted them with a bright smile. "Welcome, Captain Alex. I'm so happy you're here," she exclaimed. Her 3 eyes sparkled with excitement. "Today, we will cook a traditional dish together." Alex was surprised but intrigued. "What are we making?" he asked, eager to join in. "It's called Vela Pie. It's made with special fruits from our planet. Cooking together is a way to share our history and traditions," Zuri explained. Alex nodded, ready to learn. In the kitchen, Zuri showed him how to prepare the ingredients. She picked bright, colorful fruits and taught him how to chop them. As they worked, Zuri told stories about her childhood in Vela. She spoke of festivals filled with music and dance, and Alex found himself laughing and enjoying her enthusiasm. "Cooking is an art," Zuri said as they mixed the fruits. "It brings us closer to our roots." Alex felt a connection growing between them. They shared laughter and stories, feeling more at ease with each other. After preparing the pie, they put it in the oven. While waiting, Zuri introduced Alex to her friends, who were curious about the human who had come to help. They asked questions about Earth, and Alex shared stories about his adventures as a soldier. "I've never met a human before," one of Zuri's friends said, wide-eyed. "What are your worlds like?" "They are very different from here. but we have our own beauty," Alex replied. He enjoyed talking with them, feeling like he was part of something special. When the pie was ready, the group gathered to taste their creation. Zuri cut slices and served everyone. The pie was sweet and delicious, bursting with flavors Alex had never experienced before. "This is amazing," he said, taking another bite. Zuri beamed with pride, happy that Alex enjoyed her dish. After the meal, Zuri smiled and said, "You are a wonderful cook, Captain. You have bonded with us through this experience." Alex felt warmth in his heart, knowing he had made a new friend. Next, they moved on to the bonding challenge with Mira from the fiery planet. As they arrived at her home, Alex noticed the landscape was completely different. Red rocks and hot springs surrounded them. Mira stood waiting with a confident smile. "Welcome to my home, Alex. Today we will face the fire dance," she announced, her voice bold and strong. "What is the fire dance?" Alex asked, intrigued. "It's a traditional dance that celebrates courage. You will learn it with me, and we will perform together," Mira explained, her eyes shining with excitement. Alex felt a mix of fear and excitement. He had never danced in front of anyone, let alone in a new world. But he knew he had to try. "I'm ready," he replied, determination in his voice. Mira guided him through the movements, teaching him how to match the rhythm of the drums. The dance was lively and full of energy, and Alex soon found himself lost in the music. At first, he stumbled, but Mira encouraged him, laughing and cheering him on. "Just feel the music. Let it guide you," she shouted, and Alex followed her lead. They danced together, their laughter echoing in the hot air. With each step, Alex felt more confident. The bond between them grew stronger as they shared this joyful experience. After the dance, Alex sat down, panting but happy. "That was amazing. I've never felt so alive," he said, a big smile on his face. Mira grinned back. "You did great, Captain. You faced your fear, and that is what makes you strong." With Zuri and Mira, Alex felt like he was building real connections. Each bonding experience was unique, teaching him something new about the aliens and their cultures. As the day continued, Alex realized that this challenge was not just about the rituals but about opening his heart to friendship. He had made new friends and learned valuable lessons. With each alien he bonded with, the darkness that threatened their world seemed a little less daunting. The sun began to set, painting the sky with vibrant colors. Alex returned to his ship that evening, feeling fulfilled and excited about what was to come. He was ready to face the next bonding challenge, eager to learn and grow with the beautiful alien representatives who had welcomed him so warmly. Funny mishaps. The next day, Alex woke up with excitement and a bit of nerves. He had bonded with Zuri and Mira, but now it was time for the next challenge. Lyra had told him they would be visiting Thuros and his people. Alex was curious about how he would connect with them. After breakfast, Lyra arrived at his ship. "Good morning, Captain. Are you ready for today?" she asked, her voice cheerful. "Absolutely. What are we doing?" Alex replied, eager to hear about the plan. "We will join Theros for a game that is popular in Nithra. It is called the Great Nithran Challenge. It involves strength, skill, and teamwork," Lyra explained. Alex's heart raced. He loved a good challenge. As they made their way to the Nithran village, Lyra told Alex about the game. "It involves carrying large stones and racing against each other. It's a lot of fun, but also very hard work," she said with a smile. When they arrived, Thuros welcomed them with a big grin. "Ah, Captain Alex, are you ready to test your strength?" he boomed, his voice deep and powerful. The villagers gathered around, excited to see the human who had come to help. "I'm ready," Alex replied confidently, though he felt a twinge of worry about lifting heavy stones. The villagers cheered, and Theros explained the rules. "We will form teams and compete in a relay race. Each team must carry a stone from one end of the field to the other. Alex joined a team with Thuros and a few other Nithran villagers. They were all much larger than him, their blue skin shimmering in the sunlight. As the race began, Alex picked up a heavy stone that felt like it weighed a ton. "Here we go," he shouted, determined to do his best. The race started, and the teams took off. Alex ran as fast as he could, but the stone was hard to manage. He stumbled a little, causing some of the Nithrans to laugh. "Don't worry, Alex. You can do it," one of them shouted. As they neared the finish line, Alex's legs started to feel weak. He could see his teammates cheering him on, and that gave him strength. But just as he was about to pass the stone to Theros, he tripped over his own feet and fell to the ground, the stone rolling away from him. The crowd gasped, and then laughter erupted. "Looks like the human is taking a nap," Theros joked, his deep laughter ringing out. Alex couldn't help but laugh too, his face turning red. He quickly got up, brushed off the dirt, and retrieved the stone. With determination, he ran the rest of the way and passed the stone to Theros. "You did great, Alex," Theros said, clapping him on the back. "Just remember, it's all about having fun." They finished the race, and even though they didn't win, Alex felt proud. The villagers cheered for everyone, celebrating their efforts. They gathered around him, eager to share more laughs about the mishap. "Next time, try not to fall over," one villager teased, grinning widely. "We need our human to stay on his feet." After the race, Lyra suggested they try something different to bond with Theros. "How about a friendly game of Nithran tug-of-war?" she proposed. Alex loved the idea and agreed. The villagers quickly set up a thick rope between two teams. Alex's team faced off against Theros' team, who were all large and strong. "This will be a fun challenge," Theros declared, flexing his muscles. Alex took a deep breath and grabbed the rope, feeling the excitement in the air. "Ready, set, pull," shouted Theros. They all pulled with all their might. At first, Alex felt confident. They were doing well against the Nithrans. But suddenly, the ground beneath them was not as solid as it seemed. As Alex pulled harder, he lost his balance, slipping on some mud. With a loud splash, he fell backward, pulling his teammates down with him. The Nithrans stumbled but managed to stay on their feet, laughing as they watched Alex fall. The villagers erupted in laughter as Alex lay in the mud, covered in dirt. "Looks like our human is getting a little too comfortable," one of them chuckled. Alex laughed too, trying to wipe the mud off his face. "I guess I'm just trying to blend in," he joked, feeling embarrassed but enjoying the fun. After the tug-of-war, they decided to take a break and enjoy a picnic. Lyra had prepared a selection of fruits and snacks from their worlds. They all sat on the grass, sharing food and stories, and the mood was light and joyful. As they enjoyed the picnic, Alex couldn't help but notice how everyone laughed and teased him about his mishaps. But instead of feeling bad, he realized they were bonding through these funny moments. They were all having a great time, and that made him feel accepted. Theros raised his cup in a toast, "To our human friend, who brings laughter and joy to Nithra." Everyone cheered, raising their cups high. Alex felt a sense of belonging. He knew that these funny mishaps were making the connection stronger. He was not just an outsider anymore. He was becoming a part of their world. After the picnic, Lyra and Theros discussed the next steps in their plan to face the dark force. Alex listened carefully, feeling grateful for the support of his new friends. He knew that together, they could overcome any challenge. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the village, Alex felt a wave of happiness wash over him. He had made new friends, shared laughter, and learned valuable lessons. The bonding challenge had brought them closer together, and he couldn't wait for what lay ahead. A sudden betrayal. The next few days flew by as Alex continued to bond with the alien representatives. Each day brought new challenges and exciting experiences. However, As they grew closer, a sense of unease began to creep in. Whispers floated through the village, and Alex noticed the atmosphere changing. He sensed that something was not right. One evening, Lyra invited Alex to a meeting with Thuros and the other leaders. They gathered in a large hall made of glowing stones, surrounded by tall, vibrant trees. The room was filled with the scent of sweet flowers and the sound of rustling leaves. As Alex took his seat, he felt a wave of anticipation. They were about to discuss their plans to face the dark force threatening their worlds. Thuros stood up to speak. "We have gathered to strengthen our alliance and prepare for the battle ahead. But I feel there is something we need to address first," he said, looking around the room. "What is it?" Alex asked, curious. He looked at the faces of the other leaders, all serious and concerned. "There are rumors that someone among us may not be who they seem," Thuros continued, his voice deep and steady. "I have heard whispers of a betrayal." Alex's heart raced. The word betrayal echoed in his mind. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice steady despite his growing worry. "We have received information that there is a spy in our midst, someone who is feeding information to the dark force," Thuros explained. "We need to find out who it is before it's too late." A murmur spread through the room, and Alex felt a chill run down his spine. The thought of betrayal was hard to bear, especially among friends he had come to trust. "How can we find out who it is?" he asked, wanting to help. "We will keep a close watch on everyone. We need to see if anyone acts suspiciously or seems to know too much," Lyra suggested, her brow furrowed in worry. Thuros nodded. "We will also set up a plan to keep our conversations private. We cannot let the spy overhear our discussions." The leaders agreed, their expressions serious as they discussed their strategies. After the meeting, Alex felt a weight on his shoulders. He couldn't shake the feeling that danger was lurking nearby. The idea that someone among them might betray their trust made him uneasy. He decided he needed to keep his eyes open and stay alert. The following day, Alex went for a walk in the village to clear his mind. He passed by familiar faces, greeting the villagers he had come to know. But as he walked, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. Every now and then, he noticed an alien glancing his way before quickly looking away. That evening, while everyone was preparing for dinner, Alex overheard a conversation between two villagers. "I heard that the human is not as brave as he seems. Maybe he's just here to gather information," one of them said softly. Alex felt a pang of betrayal in his heart. Could they really think that of him? He had come to help, not to harm. Trying to shake off the unease, he went to find Lyra. He needed to talk to someone he trusted. When he found her in the garden, he shared his concerns. "Lyra, I overheard something troubling. Some villagers think I'm a spy for the dark force," he said, frustration clear in his voice. Lyra's eyes widened in shock. "That's terrible. You are our ally, and they should know that. We will clear this up," she assured him. "But we must be careful. There is a chance that the real spy is trying to turn us against each other." As they talked, a loud commotion erupted from the center of the village. They rushed to see what was happening. A crowd had gathered, and in the middle stood Thuros, looking furious. "Who is responsible for this?" he bellowed, his voice echoing in the night. In front of Thuros, a smaller alien was being held by two guards. It was a creature with yellow skin and large eyes. Trembling with fear, "Please, I didn't mean any harm," the alien cried. "I was just trying to find my way home." Thuros stepped forward, his expression hard. "You were caught eavesdropping on our meetings. What were you doing there?" he demanded. "I swear, I was just curious. I didn't know it was wrong," the yellow alien pleaded, panic in its voice. The crowd murmured, unsure of what to believe. Alex stepped forward, feeling a surge of empathy for the frightened creature. "Wait, maybe they really didn't mean any harm," he said, hoping to calm the situation. "We should hear them out." Thuros narrowed his eyes but nodded, allowing Alex to speak. "Please, Tell us your story, Alex urged the alien. I'm called Kilo, the alien said, trembling. I got lost while exploring. I heard voices and thought I could find my way back. I didn't mean to spy on anyone. Thoros looked uncertain, and Alex sensed that the tension was still high. Perhaps we should investigate further, Alex suggested. Let's not jump to conclusions. We don't know the full story yet. Just then, a shadow moved in the corner of Alex's eye. He turned to see a figure slipping away into the dark woods. Hey, who's that? Alex shouted, pointing toward the figure. The crowd gasped, and all eyes turned to the mysterious shadow. Stop, Thoros commanded, and guards rushed after the figure, but it vanished into the trees. The atmosphere was thick with fear and uncertainty. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. The real spy was still out there, and their betrayal could change everything. As the villagers began to murmur and point fingers, he realized they needed to work together more than ever. Trust was fragile, and they couldn't afford to lose it now. With the shadow of betrayal looming over them, Alex knew they had to uncover the truth. The safety of their worlds depended on it, but who could they trust when everything felt uncertain? As he stood among his friends, he felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. The challenge of finding the spy was just beginning, and Alex was determined to protect his new friends and their alliance at all costs. Facing the darkness, the night was quiet, but the tension in the village was high. After the shocking events of the previous evening, Alex knew they had to act fast. The threat of the dark force was growing stronger, and they needed to prepare for whatever was coming. The first step was to gather everyone and share their plan. The next morning, Alex called for a meeting in the village square. The sun was rising, casting a warm glow over the gathering crowd. Thoros, Lyra, and Mira stood by his side, their faces serious and focused. Alex took a deep breath, trying to calm his nerves. "Thank you all for coming," he began, his voice steady. "We are facing a dark force that threatens our worlds. We must work together to protect ourselves and each other." The crowd nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "We need to find the spy among us," Thoros added. "This person is putting us all at risk. We cannot allow fear to tear us apart. We must stand united against the darkness." Mira stepped forward, her voice soft but firm. "We have to be careful. The spy could be anyone. We must keep our eyes open and trust our instincts." As the discussion continued, Alex felt a sense of purpose growing within him. He wasn't just an outsider anymore. He was part of this alliance. They all shared a common goal, and together, they could overcome any obstacle. The plan was simple. They would divide into small groups to patrol the village and nearby areas, keeping an eye out for anything unusual. Each group would include a mix of Nithrans and humans. Alex felt proud to lead one of the groups, knowing that they had to find the spy before it was too late. As they set off, Alex felt a mix of excitement and fear. He was determined to protect his new friends and their homes. The forest surrounding the village was thick with trees, and shadows danced among the branches. The air was heavy with anticipation. After a few hours of searching, Alex and his team found themselves near a clearing. The sun filtered through the leaves, creating patterns on the ground. Suddenly, Lyra stopped and pointed. "Do you see that?" she whispered. In the distance, they spotted a figure lurking behind a tree. It was Kilo, the alien who had been caught eavesdropping. Alex felt a surge of suspicion. "What are they doing here?" he asked, his voice low. "We should approach carefully," Thoros suggested, his expression serious. They moved closer, trying to stay hidden among the trees. As they got nearer, they heard Kilo speaking softly. "I just need to know what they are planning. I can't let them stop me." The words sent chills down Alex's spine. "What is Kilo talking about?" Lyra asked, confusion written on her face. Just then, Kilo turned around, and his eyes widened when he saw them. You You shouldn't be here, Kilo shouted, backing away. I was just trying to find out how to help. Alex stepped forward. Help with what? What do you mean? He asked, trying to understand. I overheard them talking about a plan to fight the Dark Force, Kilo explained, his voice trembling. I thought if I knew more, I could help save everyone. But then I realized I might be putting you all in danger. Thoros narrowed his eyes. If you really want to help, you need to be honest with us. We are all in this together. There is no room for secrets, he said firmly. Kilo hesitated, glancing around as if searching for the right words. I'm scared. I didn't mean to betray anyone, but I've seen the Dark Force. It is more powerful than you know. I thought if I could gather information, I could find a way to stop it, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. Alex felt a mix of anger and sympathy. You should have trusted us instead of sneaking around. We could have worked together, he replied, frustration evident in his tone. Suddenly, the ground trembled and the trees shook. A dark shadow loomed over them, and they all turned to see a massive creature emerging from the forest. It was covered in darkness, its eyes glowing red like fiery embers. The Dark Force. Lyra screamed, panic in her voice. Without thinking, Alex shouted, Run! We need to warn everyone. But it was too late. The creature let out a terrifying roar that echoed through the woods, freezing them in fear. As the dark creature advanced, Alex felt a surge of bravery. He remembered the bond he had formed with his friends and how they had overcome challenges together. We have to stand together, he shouted. We can't let it divide us. With that, they sprang into action. Theros charged forward, using his strength to push back against the creature. Lyra and Mira quickly positioned themselves to flank it. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline as he joined them, ready to fight for his friends. The creature lunged at them, but they worked together, dodging and weaving. Alex used all his training and instincts to stay one step ahead. He could see the determination in his friend's eyes, and it fueled his courage. Now, Theros shouted, signaling for them to attack together. They all aimed for the creature's weak points, working in sync as they fought against the darkness. With each blow, they grew stronger. They were no longer just individuals. They were a team united against a common enemy. The creature roared in frustration as they pushed it back. In that moment, Alex realized that the true power lay not just in strength but in their bond. They were fighting for each other, for their friendship, and for their worlds. As they fought on, the darkness began to retreat, and the creature let out a final furious roar before it vanished into the shadows. Breathing heavily, they stood together, their hearts racing. We did it, Lyra exclaimed, a smile breaking across her face. Alex looked around at his friends, feeling a sense of victory wash over him. But they all knew this was just the beginning. The darkness would return, and they needed to be ready. We have to stay vigilant, Alex said, his voice steady. We can't let fear tear us apart again. With their bond stronger than ever, they made their way back to the village, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would confront the darkness and protect their worlds. A new beginning. After the battle against the dark creature, the village was buzzing with excitement. The sun rose brightly the next morning, shining down on the victorious allies. Alex felt a renewed sense of hope as he walked through the village, greeting the cheerful villagers who were celebrating their hard-fought victory. As he reached the center of the village, he spotted Theros, Lyra, and Mira gathered together. They were discussing the events of the previous night, their faces filled with determination. Alex approached them, eager to hear what they had planned. Good morning, Alex. Lyra greeted him with a bright smile. We were just talking about how we can prepare for the next challenge. The Dark Force may return, and we need to be ready. Absolutely, Alex replied, feeling a sense of responsibility. We can't let our guard down. We have to make sure everyone knows how to protect themselves. Thoros nodded in agreement. We should organize training sessions for both Nithrans and humans. We need everyone to be ready to fight if the darkness comes back, he suggested. Mira added, and we need to keep sharing information. Knowledge is our greatest weapon against this threat. We must work together as one. Alex felt a wave of pride wash over him. This alliance was stronger than ever, and he was grateful to be a part of it. Let's start organizing those training sessions today. We can set up a schedule and get everyone involved, he proposed. The four of them quickly put together a plan. They divided the tasks and began spreading the word about the upcoming training. Villagers gathered, curious to hear what was happening. As they announced their plans, the excitement in the air was palpable. Throughout the day, Alex helped set up different stations for the training. Some focused on combat skills, while others taught teamwork and strategy. Lyra took charge of teaching self-defense techniques, while Theros demonstrated strength and agility exercises. Mira focused on building morale, encouraging everyone to trust in one another. As the sun began to set, the village was filled with laughter and enthusiasm. People were learning, growing stronger, and forming new friendships. Alex felt a sense of belonging, and he knew they were creating something special. During one of the training sessions, Kilo approached Alex, looking nervous. "Can I join?" he asked quietly. "I want to help make things right after everything that happened." Alex smiled warmly. "Of course. We need all the help we can get. You can be a part of the team, just like everyone else," he encouraged. Kilo nodded, a look of relief crossing his face. As the days turned into weeks, the village transformed. The once quiet place now buzzed with activity. People trained together, shared stories, and built strong bonds. They were not just preparing for the darkness. They were becoming a family. One afternoon, while they were training, a messenger arrived with urgent news. "There are signs that the dark force is gathering strength again," he reported, his voice serious. "We must act quickly to stop it before it reaches our village." Alex felt a knot tighten in his stomach. "We need to gather everyone and prepare for battle," he said, looking at his friends. "This time, we will be ready." They quickly organized a meeting, and the villagers gathered in the square. Theros spoke first, addressing everyone with confidence. "We have trained hard, and we are stronger together. We must protect our home from this threat," he declared. Lyra followed, her voice filled with determination. "We are not just fighting for ourselves, but for each other. We will stand united and face whatever comes our way." As Alex looked around at the faces of his friends and neighbors, he felt a sense of pride swell in his chest. They had come so far since he first arrived in this village. They had overcome fear and betrayal and had built something beautiful together. With a plan in place, they prepared for the challenge ahead. The villagers worked together to strengthen defenses and gather supplies. They set up lookout points and established communication lines to ensure everyone would be ready for whatever the dark force had in store. As night fell, they gathered under the stars, ready to face the unknown. Alex looked up at the sky, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for his new friends. They had all changed for the better. "No matter what happens, we will face it together," he said, his voice strong. In that moment, a sense of calm washed over the group. They were no longer just individuals. They were a team. They were a family, united in their purpose. Just then, a low rumble echoed in the distance. The ground shook slightly, and the villagers looked at each other with concern. "It's here," Theros said, his expression serious. "We need to take our positions." As they moved to their stations, Alex felt a surge of adrenaline. The dark force had returned, but they were ready. They had trained hard and forged bonds that would carry them through the darkest of times. The battle was about to begin, and with their hearts united, they would face the darkness head-on. No matter the outcome, they knew one thing for sure. They were no longer alone. Together, they would stand strong and fight for their new beginning. As the night closed in around them, the light of their friendship shone brighter than any darkness that threatened to consume them. They were ready for whatever came next.